Hey, how you doing today? Today is 4/20, 2020. Day after 4/20. As always, if you like my videos, please subscribe and like, hit that notification button so that anytime I post anything, you will know. I really appreciate and enjoy your comments, so please comment. If you like, leave me a comment. Please keep it respectful. This video that I'm making today, and I specifically made this YouTube site to vent, to express myself, to get out things that are on my chest, to get out issues in my life that I'm dealing with every day that I can't necessarily do anything right away or do anything by myself. But who knows, maybe the right people will hear this video and we can start a movement. I woke up today and, mind you, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So we've been quarantined to our homes and asked to stay home. Our companies have been shut down. We've been laid off from work. We're not working. And so they go to do things to try to help people out. Well, one of the things they did was they put an additional $600 on the unemployment insurance. That right there told you that they knew that unemployment insurance wasn't enough. That right there off the rip tells you that they know. They did it without a second thought, without hesitation, which tells you. And they did that so that certain people, preferably the people who do vote, wouldn't get upset and angry. So that the middle class wouldn't wake up to how they treat the poor every day. So that people who work hard every day wouldn't wake up to how some people in certain situations end up in. And don't get it twisted, because they've changed it and made it where unemployment, even though we all pay into it, if you quit your job, you can't draw unemployment. And it's not as if you're gaining something, like you're gaining something that's really wealthy or helping you. You're just trying to get something to supplement you until you find another job. So we have a system that's been set up to basically continue to hurt people who are poor, but it's waking up the rest of us. We're in the middle of a pandemic and people are laid off, but yet and still DTE, Consumers Energy, the water company, your mortgage, basically all these debt-driven, bill every month, overpaid, supposed to be like DTE and I'm pretty sure the water company and consumers are all non-profit. Because what does non-profit really mean? Because it seems like non-profit means it's all about profit. And y'all still going on with business as usual. I got laid off on March 18th. I missed the shut-off notice, and I'm not saying I'm wrong. I owe the money. I used the lights. I owe the money. That's not a problem. I received the shut-off. I missed it. I hadn't been home. I've been staying at my girlfriend's house. I come home, and my lights are off for $157. Now, I'm not saying I don't owe the money, but it's like, screw what's going on right now. Screw people are laid off. And then when I called to get help, the only thing they could offer me was, well, you can get your stuff turned back on for 10%. But we're still billing you. And you still are going to have to pay this before we shut you off again. But you can go to this agency or that agency and they say, and wait a minute. Why should I have to go to different agencies to get help when I'm calling you? See, we've got a bunch of jacked up, messed up systems, and they're done like that intentionally so that nobody's felt, so I don't have to be accountable for what I'm doing wrong. Friend of the court, horrible agency. It claims to be a family agency, but it's not. It says exactly what it is. It's the friend of the court. It's not the friend of the mother. It's not the friend of the father. It's not the friend of the child. It's not, they don't care nothing about your family. The whole process, the whole reason for the friend of the court is to get money out of your family, your broken family, to take advantage of your broken family. And we're going to make you think we're helping you while we practice what we say is bad. Socialism. We're going to take money from one person who earned it and give it to another person. But it's because you got a kid. Explain to me, how is it you can go to jail for having a kid? I've done a lot of stuff wrong, but I'd never committed any felonies. Never. And the first time I'm on my way to the county jail was for child support. Not because I robbed anybody, not because I hurt anybody, not because I killed, stole, not because I committed any illegal crime against anybody else. But as a young man, I got with a young lady and we had a child together. And you didn't try to help us or assist us or to teach us to be a better family. No, you saw that as an opportunity. An opportunity to get some money that you had no right to. You charged us to, we're there together in the hospital. You could have told me about the child support and what was coming then. But no, you wait till the child turns a year and you don't notify me nothing. The first time I find out about child support is when I get stopped by one of these so-called supposed to be protecting and serving cops. Regardless if you are a good cop, a bad cop or not, if you out here profiling people, you're a bad cop because you don't want nobody profiling you or your family. If you out here policing in a way that it wouldn't be okay if somebody did your family like that, you know you're wrong. And can somebody please explain to me? You know, I'm 45 years old. What is the NAACP even for? Why are they even here? Why is it in 2020 black folks are still going through what they're going through and the NAACP even exists? The one that was making a difference, they bust them up as a gang. And the NAACP was nowhere to be found. See, black folks, we got to start waking up. Why is it that the Nation of Islam is able to still keep going the way it's going? And Farrakhan can get out and wolf and say whatever you want to say, but they don't do nothing. And I'm not trying to turn against my brother. If it's working for you, keep doing what you're doing. I ain't mad at you. What I'm mad at is the rest of us on the outside who keep buying into this mess and even taking the time to listen to you and not pay attention. Right now, they're saying more of our people are dying than anybody. Where are our leaders at? They hunkered down in there. Actually, I got to be honest. The only person I really see out there is Roland Martin. I got to get Roland his props. He out there. He doing his thing. But I used to watch Sharpton faithfully. I ain't seen Sharpton. And then it cracked me up. Jesse Jackson, you running down there to Florida to help out with the Terry Schiavo thing, but anything going on with black folks, I don't see the nation, the color push. I don't see you nowhere. Why is it that when there's stuff going on with us and we need our people and our leaders, y'all ain't nowhere to be found? We came out and voted for a president, and we got the president. But what it showed us is it ain't about the president. It's about your local officials. Right now, I live in Pontiac, Michigan. My mayor ain't been nowhere to be seen except for in PR situations. In some situation where she can get her recognition so she can say, hey, look, I was there. Vote for me. The doggone woman didn't even go by Waterman until she realized she could get elected by name, because we don't go out and bid people. We vote off of name recognition. We recognize a name. We don't want to actually go out and do the work. I understand now when people say we're lazy. They're not saying we're physically lazy. We're mentally lazy. We don't want to do the work to beat them. And they know it. They know we can beat them. They know we better than them. Everybody knows who we are but us. I live in a community where they've stripped the schools away, where they've stripped the grocery stores away, where they've stripped away everything because they're trying to make us leave. But the sad thing is, we got a choice in it. But we don't use our choice. We make excuses. My one vote don't count. Your one vote does count. You just don't want to use it. Every time, we were just talking about a store in Pontiac. This one of the nastiest stores in Pontiac. It's over there on the east side, on Pike Street. But it ain't black owned. So it's okay that they nasty. But if they was black owned, that store would have been shut down years ago. See, we say we not slaves, but we'll take it from everybody but our own. Did you ever stop and think about that? Somebody black open up a store and treat you wrong, you boycotting and have that store shut down. But anybody else, it's okay. We're going to keep shopping there. We just going to cuss them out. See, you know your one vote counts. But you keep telling yourself that so that you can justify being lazy, so you can justify taking what you take. We got people who come around here making laws and rules about us to keep us down. Ain't nowhere in the world with all the men in Pontiac, all the men around here who have single children, who are single fathers, should a law or a person making a law ever been passed or allowed to pass that you can put me in jail because I didn't pay child support for my child? That don't even make sense. And explain, how is this an agency? You calling this a family agency when all is set up for us to bust up the family? When you are set up to divide the family. You got a negative stigma about me and you tell yourself you helping the mama when you don't know neither one of us. I could be the one that need help. She could be the messed up one. But you don't know. And then on top of that, you don't care nothing about my kids. It's not about helping my kids. Because if it was about helping my kids, it'd be about me spending time with them. It'd be about me becoming a responsible person and a part of a responsible leader to my children. But you don't care nothing about that. You want me and her to be beefed out and pitted against each other. I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at the agency because I know that the agency is full of crap. See, that's the whole goal, is to pit us against each other. So as long as we fighting each other, we can't fight you. And that's what you sorry white folks need to wake up to. And all you other people who buy into any kind of racism or stupidity, anybody who buys into homosexuality, anybody who buys into abortion, that stuff ain't got nothing to do with you. You got to go stand before God for that, not them. So if they have an abortion, that's on them. If they get gay and they get married, that's on them. But you're going to have to answer to God for your crimes. Now, while you over there worried about somebody that I didn't put you in charge of worrying about, I put you in charge of worrying about you. I put you in charge of worrying about your family. Them homosexual people wasn't affecting your child. That person over there having an abortion wasn't affecting your child, but you were. You were affecting your child. And while you were worried about the black people, while you were worried about the Mexican people, you were trying to ignore the rich, wealthy people who've been keeping you in your place. See, you can go touch your neighbor next door, the black guy next door. You can go touch the Mexican across the street. But you can't touch the rich guy who's sitting up there, sitting back in his office, the CEO, who's sitting up manipulating your life. You'd rather blame the black guy who has no control over nothing and he's struggling just as much as you are. You'd rather put it off on people who live and have to fight and trying to struggle it just like you do. And a lot of that has to do with that white privilege you think you have. Yeah, I said it. It's old. You know it. It's time for us to stop acting. Because that's all we've been doing is acting. We have been acting. We come home and put on a mask. I got a brother I hang out with, a dude named Roger. Love him. He loves me. But we fall out because he tries to act like he doesn't acknowledge what I go through. He's a biker, and yeah, he goes through some of the stuff I go through. But at the end of the day, he knows he can clean up. And he don't have to face what I'm facing. I'm still going to get harassed by police who say that, oh, I'm policing your area. But you'll do things to me that you wouldn't want somebody to do to your family. And it's still a mentality and a stigma. So you don't want to say it, but in your mind you feel that I'm less than, that I'm not human. That's what you tell yourself in the privacy, in the back of your conscience. And you can say that you don't, but if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to keep doing what you do to people every day without a second thought. You treat black people in a way that you treat nobody else. And it's not a question in your mind that you're wrong, that, hey, they're questioning my authority. No, you're questioning your authority. Because you're taking more authority than you have to over another person. And you wouldn't want somebody to take that authority over you. We sell ourselves so many lies in this country. We sell ourselves so many lies. Make America great again. How about instead of making America great again, let's actually make America great and stop lying to ourselves. Stop talking about that we have poor because we want to keep poor. We want to keep poor because in America, it's all about what you think. It's not about what's really happening. Because as I'm watching the Trump and I understand now, I'm with y'all people, but not y'all Trump supporters. I'm with the people who basically forget all these politicians. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't support Trump. I support the person who comes from my community and actually knows my values and actually can relate to what I'm going through. Not somebody who's sitting up in their office and making millions of dollars. You can't relate to nothing I'm going through. You paying child support compared to me paying child support, you don't even know you paying it. But when I ain't got enough to pay my rent, I ain't got enough to eat, but I still got to feed my kids who I'm still responsible, but you call it child support. And there's no counseling. The money is mandatory, but the counseling is not mandatory. Think about that. Because you don't want the family to get healthy. You don't want them to come together. Because if those people start coming together and working together, they're going to cut you out, which is going to cut your funding. See, black folks, we got to wake up. We make more money than for anybody else out here, and we struggle more than anybody else out here. Because we put up with it, because we won't work together. Because I see your black face and you see my black face, and you come with all these reasons and excuses why you shouldn't work with me, and then you try to tell yourself it's not a slave mentality. It has nothing to do with Willie Lynch. Ain't nobody keeping us down. We keeping us down. The white man ain't got to hold us down because we hold each other down. I read a book, and it was a great book. It was called Black on Black. It was written by a guy from Michigan, from Highland Park, Michigan, I want to say. And in the book, guy was locked up in a cell with this Mexican guy. And he asked the Mexican guy, because they didn't like each other, but they became friends. And he asked the Mexican guy, how come y'all people don't mess with our people? And he said, the way that y'all treat y'all own people, if y'all treat each other like that, what y'all gonna do to us? See, everybody wants to work with us. Everybody wants to help us. But the problem is we don't want to work with us. We don't want to help us. We want to blame everybody else. We want to make excuses. Your one vote do count, and you know it. Every time you sit your sorry tail right there and be lazy and won't get out and go vote, I bet you got up and voted when it was for marijuana, which was stupid. You get out and go vote for President Obama, but then you won't vote for the mayor of your city. You won't vote for the governor of your state because you think Obama gonna take care of it. Obama don't even know what's going on. He don't even know what's happening here. Man, we gotta stop it. It's old. Somebody black open up a store, You'll drive past that store to go to somebody else's store. You know that they gotta go. Like, for perfect example, beauty supply. You know who we gotta go to buy our merchandise from. And guess what? You think they're gonna give me the same discount and the same value that they've been giving their family? No, they gonna charge me more. And you know what else they know? They know that I gotta charge more to make any kind of a dollar so I can put some money back into it. So you think I'm overcharging you trying to get rich. But what they know is that we not gonna support each other. We not gonna sustain. They not gonna cut their family hand off to help us. That's their family business. That's how they came over here and took over. They got businesses in our community. They drive from their community to our community to come run these businesses. And you think that they gonna help us to shut them down? And then what cracked me up is you go up in these same businesses every day complaining about they talking Chinese and talking about me. They doing this, they did it. But you keep shopping there. But if a black person did it one time, shut them down. There was a black person that had a beauty supply over here, and then y'all gonna say, oh, I didn't know it was there. You're gonna make all these excuses for why you didn't go there. Why aren't you seeking out places like that? And it ain't even gotta be black owned. Just somebody to live in your community. Because if they live in your community, that money stay in your community. And they know you, and you know them, and y'all work together. But when you got somebody like police and fire department who don't live in your community, they don't care nothing about you. They treat you like you're less than. They basically trying to make sure you don't cross over into their community. It's time to stop being stupid. For real. They not saying, when people say black folks lazy, and you get all mad and uproar, they're not saying you won't work. They know you'll work. You'll work till you die. They ain't saying that. They saying you mentally lazy. You ain't gonna go out there and learn how to use your mind to beat us. Do you know that Egypt is in Africa? No, Egypt's in the Middle East. It's in Africa. And they tell you, all of knowledge and information came out of Egypt. And then they go out of their way to make you believe that the Egyptians didn't look like you. But you know better. But if you admit it, that means you'd have to get up off your butt and do something different. We kings and queens, but they got you acting like, forgive my language for those, but they got you out there calling yourself hoes, niggas, bitches. Really. You calling yourself a bitch, but then you calling a man a dog and saying it ain't good to be a dog. But a bitch is a female pregnant dog. That's my bitch. I ain't none of your bitch. I ain't none of your nigga. You can call me your king, your highness. You can call me Mr. You can call me your prince. You can call me by my name. But you ain't gonna call me no nigga. You ain't gonna call me no nigger. You ain't gonna say what's up, my nigga. Come on, we gotta start understanding what we say and the power of words, man. The devil is the prince of the airways. He got you calling yourself a nigga. And you know what that term means. It ain't enduring. It's not. It's another way to go put somebody else down on the low. What's up, my nigga? That's a slide. Don't call me my nigga. That's a slide. You trying to slide one in. What up, my nigga? You trying to slide and put me down. That ain't no term of endearment. I don't even associate with niggas. And niggas ain't black. Nigga is anybody who come in and mess shit up for you. The nigga was the one who was at the house party who couldn't wait to shoot the party up. He was the one who started looking for the fight. Oh, he stepped on my shoes. Oh, I'm finna shoot it up. We got a nigga in the White House right now. And they catching hell. Trump is a straight up nigga. Because he is in there tearing it up. Don't call me none of that. I ain't gonna call you none of that. It's time we start waking up, man. This stupidity gotta stop. And for my government officials out there, Mayor, uh, 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 Mayor Waterman, my governor, I got her back. I thank God for her. Sorry, sad thing, Fulton County, one of the worst county commissioners we had. We had to wait for the guy to die. We knew this guy was racist. And we never did anything to get him out of office. This guy was out here boycotting buses to keep black people from getting them on. His heart hadn't changed that much over the years. He had no reason to. And for those of us who would try to defend and call friends, stop it. Yeah, he might have been okay with you. But you know the rest of us. I am not what you say I am. I am not what you think I am. And you know it. But the problem is I gotta know it. That's what I made this page for. It's just to go off. Just to get it out. But I gotta start making a change somewhere. I can't keep standing and keep going with the status quo every day.